Today, I'm gonna talk about our new plan about the game competition. So XANA is now preparing for the big competition ever. This is something separate the individual from our monthly DAO MVP game building award. So it's a totally separate reward. So you can challenge the both. What we are planning right now to have a rocket start to driving the users and creators into our ecosystem. We're preparing for the game competitions. And what we're gonna prepare is at least more than 50,000 US dollar value of the reward through the year. In a year means probably we can have 5 times of the competitions, so that each competition can be more than somewhere around like 10K to the 15K rewards in total. So that's the size of the reward. And the purpose is totally bringing the creators and new users and to let them use the XANA as a daily basis. So that is our main purpose of these competitions. Now, weakness of the application is that there's not too many things happening in the applications. If we compare to last year, it's totally different. We have a lot of things. We have tons of the user-generated world, more than a couple hundred. And we have constantly opening the XANA Festival 1 to 4 every day. So those are the basic thing. But to bring to the next level, we need something else. And that is a game. To create the game, instead of just waiting for XANA team to release the games, which we are already releasing the NFT duels, and next will be the breaking down and so on. We are already preparing those kind of things. The great part is that we have a game builder. So this game builder allows every creators to create a game very easily, extremely easily, without any kind of requirement of the coding or 3D gaming or any kind of like a gaming programming knowledge. It's a very straightforward, and you can just open the app in the PC or Mac and start building the things without learning anything. You can just basically learn everything in the app, and that's not complicated at all. That is a great part, and that's our very huge advantage and a strength of our XANA Metaverse, which is this XANA game builder. So that is totally the user or community driven game building stuff. We already successfully launched this function around 1 to 2 months ago, and we are already getting the great games from our XANA DAO creators. And last month MVP, so that we provided the rewards and we launched those games on the app and etc. And that is enough to let us feel or find the possibilities to bring this to the next level and to make it this as a next driving force to bringing the more creators for the game or more player to the game, and that makes XANA's ecosystem enrich. That is our main purpose to launch this game competitions. So we are trying to start this competition somewhere around July this year. That is upcoming in the next month. We are planning to have this competition bi-monthly. Bi-monthly means once in 2 months. The reason because of the bi-monthly is that we need enough time for the creators to create a game, first of all, of course, and then that's kind of take a month. And after that, that is another important phase will come. That is a promotion. The marketing, and get the feedback of the actual players to judge which game is a great game. So we're doing the monthly basis of the XANA, the MVP reward every month. Beside, simultaneously, this separated individual game competition will go on once in a bi-week. We can just make it simply in the creative purpose, we can say that there's a 2 phase, but it's just a straightforward. It's just starting today and ended in the 2 months later, for example. And between those times, there will be a creative time for the creators to create a game or even the polish that game after getting the feedback of the users or the players who is playing that game, even after the releasing. But after they release, we want to promote that game as much as possible. So that is why we are having enough time, like almost a month time. If the creator finished creating the game like a 1 month, then another month will be allocated for the promotion and polish the game and getting the feedback from the actual player. So that is why we are not doing this every month, but once in a 2 month. And I think that is a great time frame for everyone. So that's about the schedule. And next, let me talk about the how we're gonna reward everyone. This is a very important part, and I think this is kind of one of the most expected part, right? So this one, we are planning to separate those rewards into the 3 divisions, or I can say 3 different allocations. And one is, of course, the game creator. And another one is actually the promoters, the people who's gonna promote those games so that they can cooperate to push the game. Because often the creators has to focus on the creation, and there should be another group of the people who can help to promote that game as one of the team member. So that is a great part. Third part, you can think about the rewards in the separately. And another rewards going to the actual player who give the actual like a valuable gameplay and feedbacks and occasionally playing, like recurring play, not just like a try once and just leave it. So if those 3 things works in a harmony, then that's gonna create a positive spiral because there will be more gamers coming in. That's gonna motivate the creators, of course, and then the promoters, they're gonna promote the game more for bringing the new people to play that game. Then all of them as a team can generate income or revenue, profit from this competition. Of course, this is a competition, so not everyone can get the rewards, but it's worth to try because the amount is good and we have the constancy of the opening this event. You know, like more people comes, more creator comes, more player comes, and definitely the economy itself of the applications and the ecosystem of XANA will grow. And that's gonna give a good effect to everyone, for the token holders, NFT holders, the land owners, creators, and the users. So it's really have a positive effect for everyone. So that is why we want to use this competition as a driving force. So those are the separation of the reward, and most likely we're gonna put the most weight to the creator's reward, of course. And next one is a promoter's reward. Because of those guys, there will be more people to come to the applications, hopefully. And of course, it's not that much big, but still, we're gonna prepare some kind of reward pool for the player as well. So everyone can be beneficial. That is the plan of the allocation of the reward. And let me talk about the globalization. We're gonna at least open this competition in Japan, India, or Pakistan because we are our local biz devs, the local developers are there, and also the China. Those now our current most focused countries and where we have teams, marketing teams, or the operational team. So that's gonna be very easy to communicate with the actual creators or developers and the promoters to make this event itself to be better and better. So that is the main country, but of course, as we are mainly focusing on the English as well, beside of Japanese, so that automatically can spread globally. Maybe, like some country which really likes the Web3 gaming, which is like a Philippines or Vietnam. They do need some kind of localization though. Even the Axie Infinity or those famous games, they're all English. So it doesn't affect too much at some level. So we are just planning like that. Yeah, that is a place we're gonna probably have local marketing to reach out to the potential creators to know about this competition and bring them into this. Because of this competition, they can come and join for the XANA's entire ecosystem possibly. So that is what we're gonna do. And another part is that we're gonna have a separate individual special reward, which is coming from our team members and our developers and probably some of our partners. It's a kind of like individual rewards. For example, let's say Rio Award, like John Award, or Satoshi Award, or something like that. So key board member of the XANA can pick their favorite game and give something extra. That is some like fun part because those are more getting the individuals their own favorites. That's just extra though, but that just to make it more fun. We're still thinking about the how to divide the reward pool. Maybe we can set some kind of like a minimum requirement for the players, and everyone or first X amount of the people can get the share of those reward pool. That is what we are thinking about right now. And exact amounts and the numbers or like limitation of the people, that is something that we're gonna think about further before the event starts. And to measure the power of the promoters, that is the interesting part. What we are thinking about is two phases. First phase, we can create some kind of stats. The stats in the application to measure how many people are playing the game. That is the very first level, and at least we can see the engagement of those promoters to know that, who is performing really well, who is getting the good impressions, and who is getting the good engagements, and so on, so that we cannot know exactly how many of the users in those social media are joining the actual game. But at least we can compare this promoter getting like a 1 million total impression of the social media. Then of course he has a higher possibility to bringing the more people into the ecosystem. So that should be, something considered to be rewarded. We're gonna probably try this one first because this one doesn't really need a much of the development and we are almost like done with it. So we'll see. And another part is that like second phase, what we are trying to do is like we're gonna create like a referral link to calculate the exact amount of the conversion for those promoters. So more promotion goes on and they get more like link click so that at least the user can come and see and check the games. We can calculate the possibility of the actual installment or like conversions or link click to the store page so that we can roughly estimate like how many people can come through this link, and from this link like how many people from there went the actual XANA world. So if we calculate those kind of things, then that's gonna be like the very effective for the promotion, and it can be more like a fair and transparent. That's what we want to do by the time. Probably not this time, but like maybe hopefully we wish to make it start those kind of like second installation, which is the referral link system, to the next competition, I think. Not the first one, but the second one, I believe. And how to measure the creation of the games. That is also a very important thing. What we are discussing with the Japanese XANA DAO is that we don't want to be like too serious. We want to make it fun. So we want to encourage fun games and the interesting games, unique games, and so on. But more unique it goes, then it becomes like a minority. It might be like some kind of very niche game, but niche often works well in this era. It is kind of very hard to decide the actual rule of the judge, but we can come up with some ideas, such as we can count the visitors, like total visitors of the month, to know like how many people visited the actual that world. That is something we can do, and it's very transparent. Of course, we have to prevent some kind of bad actions. But even though like using some kind of bots, then it is kind of obvious that like why people will engage so much onto this like shitty game. It shouldn't happen, right? So at least the game has to be really good. Then the actual engagement of the users should happen. So I'm kind of have a confidence that the bot works really doesn't work in this kind of case, because this is like a creative first kind of competition. In addition, maybe we should have some kind of official voting system or rules. Maybe our internal board member plus our game builder developer can join, so that the game builder developer can know how hard and how difficult that game is from his perspective, because he's the one who is looking at and working on the XANA builder more than anyone in the world. So I think that's the kind of best person to start with. That's what we are thinking about. The long story in short, probably judge can be a total amount of the unique visitor, and probably some judge from our internal team, and maybe some people as like special VIP judge, or maybe the community voting or the user player voting or something. We can combine all of them occasionally to find out which is the most working stuff. So that's what we are thinking about. So that is, I think, pretty much it. I think everything could be covered, hopefully, in this first half of the session. And we're going to continue discussing about these competitions with the DAO members in the Discord. So if you want to join the sessions, please join and let's discuss together to make this as a really good event. Just don't forget the main purpose of this competition is to bring more players, bring more creators, let them play every day. That is the purpose of this event. And to add one more thing, it's about the land. We finally deployed the main utility of the land, which is the ability to deploy the world on the top of the land. This had been a free process, which is available for everyone. From this update, actually we're following the actual promise manifesto at the beginning when we launched the land, and that is the land's most valuable utility of general land is the ability to deploy the world on top of the land, and we just follow this one. So this is not something new. This is not something trying to different type of things or etc. This is made from the beginning. Because of this, finally we could be able to give a fantastic the utilities for the landowners. But at the same time, it might affect the creators. Because if that creator doesn't really have much of the money, but they have a super talented skill, this kind of situation, then if that creator only have a 1x1 land, and he want to make a 2x2 games or 3x3 games or 4x4 huge game, but he make the game, of course he wants to deploy, right? But he cannot afford that price of the land. Then we have to figure out the new way. What we are thinking about the new way is that we're gonna allow user to test publish his world without the land for the certain period of time, which is somewhere around like 1 month to filter out again. So if the creator is skillful enough or like he's a great content creator or etc., then no problem. They can just keep renewing. This is not rental function. We cannot call this rental, but like the ability to use the XANA's official land to deploy their own game. So that is one of the solution. And after the 30 days, we will review it again. How many users or players playing that game in a whole month. This number is very hard to manipulate. That means those numbers have a very good transparency, and after the 1 month, if that world could earn, let's say like average more than 10 people through a year, through the month, then we can have a next spot. Okay, you can just continue displaying that world another month like this until that his score or judge is totally giving like no to the some games world because of the absence of the users and etc. Then it's kind of automatic. That game will be delisted to keep and maintain our ecosystem very friendly, becoming not too complicated. So that is the very basic of the land utility. So the question about this kind of case is that what's the point? What's the point for the landowner to own the land? That is a great question. We're gonna have a several limitation to make it different from those free world, the test published world. Like maybe we're gonna create some different categories so that the user can easily judge this is still like a test published world or games or world on top of the actual land is a very valuable combination. Yeah, so that is pretty much it. And every month we're gonna review and we're gonna have some kind of borderlines to make it fresh, like transfer more eyeballs to the upcoming game as well. So that is the main purpose, so that if you don't have land, then you have like a more tight or like harder conditions in several cases. And if they're owning a land, it's totally theirs. Like we don't touch anything. So that's the big separation. So like the actual landowner has a peace of the mind, and the people who is selling the games to those landowner, they can also make a profit. So that is another way without even keep winning in some competitions or like, these kind of things. The world still goes on. Another solution is like you should get another world to get the land to price, to push your creations. You created the world you created to be on top of your own land to get the 100% ownership. So those are the new rule of the Zen land. So like it's a very important change. So please remember. And again, I will say this is not something new. This is execution of the utilities which is coming from the long ago. And we want to bring it to the next level as well. So we're going to think about it. So that is pretty much it. Other than that, we have a XANA app update, the version June 9th. We have a several long time waited function is here. We add the animations which has been requested by our XANA DAO. So our XANA DAO creators, during they are creating the games or like etc., they are saying that the XANA avatar is not like making a variation of the idle motion. Like we can dance, you can do like some kind of actions, but we were very weak about the waiting pose. Like the idling pose was really funny. It looks like they are like in the summer, like super hot at a time or something. So we completely fixed and added like 9 more basic animations so that we want you guys to enjoy these new animations. And we also having the monthly MVP for the video creators. So with using those like 9 fantastic new animations, we hope that dramas or like anime video is gonna be very fun. This is the virtualized real-time numbers display. We're displaying the visual real-time users on the same land, not same instance, but the same land at this moment. So that like none of us has to keep asking anything, they know. So it's gonna be very helpful to have any kind of like reward giving event. That's pretty much it. In the last, we believe the entertainment is the key. Entertainment will be the super strong driving force to attract a lot of users to coming to our ecosystem. Beside of the gaming team, like programmers, they are working fully on delivering the products, but at the same time, I will be more focusing on the marketing and promotions to make sure, even though how good the game are, if the people don't know about it, then that's no meaning, right? So I think that's pretty much it for today's session. Thank you for listening and have a great weekend. Next week of this time, right before of the XANA Festival. And I want you guys to try out, because of this competition, we want you to try out our game builders and the world builder quickly. Please give us some feedback to make our best competitions to bring more people in here. Thank you so much for joining, and we will see you in the next week. Thank you. Bye-bye.